Hi, welcome to my journey. My name is Cherie. Today I'm getting an early start, right? Getting out here, trying to take care of some business, right? Uh, I got a letter from the government to claim my homestead exemption. And I don't remember the fact that having to send, a copy of my driver's license last year, right? I don't believe I had to send a copy of my driver's license. The fact that I had to send a copy of my driver's license has sparked my curiosity, you know, uh, why, but I don't have a copy of my driver's license, right? And they're not making it to where you can do it online, but you guys can come along with me and we'll find out together. So I've been up early. This is my third day making sure that I drink my black bean smoothie. It's delicious. Not as good as my rock star though. But it is filling. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the library and I guess make a hard copy of my driver's license, and then I have an envelope, and I did find my forever stamps, right? I'm not even sure if the forever stamps even are acceptable nowadays, because you never know. You just never know. You buy something under an agreement today, tomorrow the agreement is no longer an agreement. It's not agreed upon anymore. It's like, what? That's one of the reasons why I'm like, okay, I haven't had to use a stamp in I don't know how long, right? But I do have some forever stamps, right? And even though it says forever, right, I don't know if they will accept my forever stamps. Then, whoever it is asking for a copy of my driver's license, I don't know if they are who they say they are. Okay? I get an official looking letter in the mail saying, well, if you don't claim, if you don't apply for your homestead, you won't get it. And I'm like, shit, I'd rather apply for the homestead and get it. Okay? That's what I'd rather do, which is why I'm out and about right now, trying to see about getting a homestead exemption. So, a homestead exemption kind of stops them from raising your taxes. I don't know. I think it exempts you from the capitalism that's going on as far as like market value, because you could be a vet and get a homestead exemption. You could be disabled, get a homestead exemption, and you could be a senior and get a homestead exemption. The other ways that you get a homestead exemption? I'm not sure. I'm not really familiar with the whole homestead exemption thing, right? Because here's the thing, right? The left hand and the right hand are not in sync, right? I know the federal government will call you disabled, if you've had cancer or ever had, or if you have cancer or if you ever had cancer. Because first of all, they know that cancer can recede and go to various other parts of your body, first of all. Sometimes it can recede and never resurface. Oh my gosh. And but you can go to Social Security, and have cancer, and they're like, nope, as far as we're concerned, you can still go to work. Okay. So we don't really know, why, some organizations or some states, will make different declarations, and, based on approval. Well, approval is based on your language, and of course that makes a lot of sense, to us, when we know that dialect, it tells everything about you, where you're from, how you was raised, unless you're, a linguist. If you're a linguist, you ain't gonna have a problem. Wherever you go, you're gonna sound like them, and they're gonna think you're one of them. But if you're not a linguist, then you're not gonna sound like them. Okay? And I seen that reflected just yesterday when this lady was talking about, oh my gosh, this man, he has an accent. Oh man, what time does the library open up? So it definitely looks like it's closed. So it's got the library hours up here. Let me check it out. So the library is open on Thursday, 12 to 8. Wow. It has really different open hours based off of the days of the week. More crazy work. And I guess, in their opinion, they're not going to pay for a library to be open if nobody's going to use it. So let me see. Where it is I am going here. It's Dallas Central Appraisal District. So Let's see. 2949 North Stemmons Freeway, Dallas, Texas. No, I said 29. $29.49 Stemmons Freeway, Dallas, Texas. Minutes. So the library was closed. I'm coming across here to the post office to see if they have a photocopier where I can take a picture of my driver's license, and then I'm gonna drive down there and well, while I'm here, I'm gonna ask if these forever stamps still work. Okay, so young people are too young to know that like, I'm old enough to know that there's been times that I have gotten into contracts. I have, bought a vehicle or something like that, and they would say, okay, you get, a free oil change for the lifetime of the vehicle, only to find out that, you pull up one day, to get your oil changed, and they say, sorry, we no longer honor that. And I'm like, I thought it was a lifetime. I'm like, well, we don't honor that. So this young lady, I don't know what she was laughing at, but, I went in there and I said, I just have a question. I want to know if this forever stamp here is still valid. And he looked at it and he says, yeah, forever, and I'm like, okay, because this is the world that we live in, right? We live in a world that, we assume are going to remain the same, and we'll honor contracts. But as you can see, contracts get changed, even at your bank. Your bank is like, well, we did let you have, your bank account for free, but we're not doing that no more, Now we're charging you. Now there was a time, when you had, you were charged for every transaction on a debit card, right? But since we've become reliant on the debit card, they stopped that. in the day, we used to go to places like Office Depot, the library. Oh my God. I know I'm not getting out here in this traffic. Ooh, it looks like I am trying to get out here in this traffic. I don't know why I'm trying to get out here in this traffic. It cost, what, 15 cents to make a photocopy at the library. So I'm gonna check up here in Mesquite and see if I come across, some place that looks like, I can go and make a photocopy. Because if I can make a photocopy and my forever stamp is good, I still might want to just go and check out that the business is legit. Like I said, anybody could, send you a letter nowadays and say that, send them this information, and we see that with everything, these scammers, have been able to infiltrate the postal system, the email system, database, and us as the consumer, we're the ones suffering, the breach that has happened. They're not suffering the breaches, we are. I did not see a photocopy machine at the bank. At the post office. Because I looked. But hopefully I know the Office Depot. The Office Depot in my neighborhood, they moved or went bankrupt or something. They're not there. That was someplace where we used to be able to go and get photocopies. We were able to fax from that location. But it just seems to me they didn't require a their driver's license to ask for the homestead exemption. Now, I understand that that's an extra precaution, you know, but, you know, nowadays with everything being digital, there's almost no reason to even have a printer, right? So I'm gonna see if there's like Office Depot or something up here. Besides that, I wanted to get out of that traffic. The traffic was getting on my nerves. It was already on my nerves. And I hadn't even really gotten into it. Oh, there's a postal depot. Is that the closest I'm gonna get to an Office Depot? There's a postal depot? So I got me a beautiful in color picture of my driver's license, and we are going to mail this off. I was going to go down there and check it out, but it's like, are you serious? In this traffic? And it was like 37 minutes away. And I was like, you know, it's bad enough that I had to come here to UPS store in order to get a photocopy. Okay, I had to come to the UPS store. They didn't have a photocopy machine at the post office, but at least I was able to make sure that this forever stamp was still valid, and it worked, and they said yes. So now I don't want to spend the time or the money going down there to find out if this Dallas Central Appraisal District office is actually valid. I just don't want to. Okay. So what I think I'm gonna do is just go back that way to the house, and at least I know I got the application off into the mail. I'm gonna stick it in the post office box at the post office, and yeah, we'll just go from there. Yeah. You see how, you know, we can get deflated really fast, right? I was all gung-ho, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna go check this out, and go here, go there, you know. And all it takes is just traffic, you know, to change your mind about things. right? It's a 9:45. There's a lot of people out here driving around, and it just makes you wonder, are all these people self-employed, or all these people have passive income, what it is. And I mean, these people got brand new cars, how are they out here driving around and they have a vehicle that's less than, 4 years old? They got a vehicle less than 4 years old, and they're out here driving around going to these stores. And of course, they'll say it's none of my damn business. And I'll say, I'm not in your business. I'm making an observation. Right? Just like I was trying to make the observation to learn, why would a company, hire a recent graduate if there wasn't an incentive? And what I learned was that they would take a recent graduate who, number one, is eager to please, and they also have an incentive to get hired because, they probably have to start paying back their student loans, right? You got up to 6 months to start paying back your student loan once you stop school, whether you graduate or not. Unless, you were one of the fortunate people that got the loan forgiveness. So we rode all the way over here to the UPS store in Mesquite to get a photocopy. Now we're going back to the post office, and I was thinking to myself, well, I could have waited until the library opened up, but the library doesn't open up until 12 p.m. today on Thursday. So no, I would have had to go back home. Right, whatever. It would have been a black and white. Wouldn't have been color. Or can I do color? I don't know. So another thing that I wanted to do while I'm out and about is to also see, this new pool that they built in the area, and find out if they have swimming lessons or aerobic classes for seniors, something, because, I was thinking to myself, I think that would definitely change my life. If I'm able to get into the water. I mean, since I've been inland, oh my gosh, life has just become a whole fucking desert around here. I'm serious. It's like a desert. I'm so used to being, near water, because Seattle is just nothing but surrounded by water. And then oh my gosh, a whole bicycle club riding bikes out here like it's the weekend. It's like 10 of them, right? And of course my mind is, when do these people work? I mean, it's not even 10 o'clock and they're out here riding their bicycles in full gear. Okay, all this trouble to get this letter off. And here we go. Whew. Yeah, we got it. We got it. We did it. So let's go. We're gonna go to the new pool and find out if they have something that I could get into, like either an aerobics class or a swimming class. We're gonna go see, cause it's hot. Okay, they said that they have a class getting ready to start, a 2-week class, from 8 to 10. She said the last day to sign up for it is tonight, so I'm gonna go check it out, right? See how much it is and see if I can get involved in a swim class. Although I am thinking it might be for younger people, younger kids, but we'll see. Okay, swim lessons would be $65. It's for 10 days here at the pool. So, yeah. So, yeah. $65 for 10 days. That's a lot. Just to come to the swimming park as a resident, I can come swimming for $13 a day. I do know how to swim. I don't know. Maybe I'll pick a day to come and swim. Maybe even today. Who knows? It opens up at they have another class in July. But the swim and surf, their hours are if you're gonna bring in a cooler, it's $5. Commercial food is prohibited. The pool hours is from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Saturdays, 10:30 a.m. to 6. Sunday, 12 p.m. to 6. Wow. There we have it.